World War Z. Expectations can make or break a movie, and my best advice for you in this case is do not expect a big blockbuster movie. World War Z is directed by Marc Forster and stars Brad Pitt. And it tells the tale of a zombie apocalypse, and the key word is a zombie apocalypse, not the zombie apocalypse. Now, I love horror movies, and I always felt that zombie movies were like a subclass within that genre. But for this movie, you have to set aside all those preconceived notions you have about zombies. I mean, there are some staples you have to abide to, like if you get bitten, you become one, and you have to have this lust for human flesh. Past that, you have fast zombies, slow zombies, and I like to think that that rage class fits nicely into the zombie category, because that is a base theme in zombieism, that it's like an infection, it's like a contagion of some kind. So here's what worked for me. We're quickly introduced to Brad Pitt and his family, and the infection hits suddenly and quickly. And you see Brad Pitt's character making some very Jedi-like responses, like acting fast and gathering information with what's going on. You know, kind of like this.
Don't center on your anxieties, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
And all that is fine, because there is an explanation to it as you get into the story. You realize that he was some kind of a specialist with dealing with crisis situations, which is why we would follow a character like this for a movie like this. They eventually escape the big city, and they go out to this military ship where he is asked to go out and help the cause find a cure for this outbreak. And of course, at first he resists, and then he realizes that he has to do it to make sure that his family's kept safe on the boat. The rest of the movie is him going out there in the world, searching for the cause for all of this, and he's either searching or he's running. And all that stuff worked for me. Even the climax at the medical facility. It wasn't one of those big, huge explosion type endings, but I felt it worked for this film. Like there's a scene in this movie where there's like you have to make it past this one room where there's like this glass, and they have to slink along the floor as the zombies are looking this direction or not looking this direction. And in the viewing that I had, the audience was like, go now, go now, go now. Like you could actually hear people saying that. And, you know, it was that slow kind of tension. And it's that kind of a little slowdown in the third act is why I'm recommending to people not to expect a huge blockbuster type of movie. It works for this movie, and it kind of leaves it open for like more in a series. And the last point I want to make is I really liked the last half of this movie where he helps a female soldier stave off infection. And she kind of follows him on his journey. And what I liked about it was that it wasn't your typical casting. Daniela Curtis. Anyway, she has this nice subtle rapport with Brad Pitt. Okay, so here's what didn't work for me. Matthew Fox of Lost fame. When he shows up as a paratrooper in this movie, I was like, cool. I can't wait to see some nice little interactions with Brad Pitt and, you know, some troopers. And while that sort of happens, it doesn't really happen with Matthew Fox. I just thought it was kind of a wasted opportunity because he's a great actor. It was just kind of like, And that leads to David Morse's cameo. He's supposed to be like an ex-CIA whistleblower that's caught in this facility, which is a little bit too convenient for the plot. But at least, you know, in the trailers when you see the tooth, that's not there in this film. And I thought that worked for me. And in the middle of this movie, they try to have this tacked on subtext that Earth is responsible for the virus, which I can relate to because I adore Final Fantasy, and I appreciate the Gaia concept that echoes through that franchise. But when they started saying that the Earth is like a serial killer, I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much for me. It's like the writers of this movie were saying that, you know, this planet, this land, this country belongs to humans, and anything that kills us is a force of evil. And sorry to get a little political here, but I understand the concept of buying a house and buying the land that the house is built on. We say as a society that you own it, but, you know, if Mother Nature says she wants you out of there, you're out. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Buts. And finally, let's talk about the zombies. These are fast zombies. Some people may say a little too fast. Now, there have been movies where fast zombies have worked. The Dawn of the Dead remake, I thought that was really good. And the 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, I thought were very effective. Slow-moving zombies that appear in movies like Night of the Living Dead and in TV shows like The Walking Dead, I thought were also very effective. Because it's the way that they use them. And this movie used fast zombies, and they were so fast that you knew they were all CGI. My problem with it is that at times it just looked like a big clump of them, like a big clump of CGI goop. But visually, I respect what they were trying to do. It just didn't hold any menace to me. So what do you like? Do you like fast zombies or do you like slow zombies? Let me know in the comments below. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button. And subscribe! Butts. World War Z. Zed. Human flesh.